Aesthetic, everyone. It's me. I'm back. Alex is still gone. He will maybe return one day. We don't know yet. But here we are, episode 76. We're going to go, regardless of where Alex is. He says he's going to be back in Horizon, but we'll see. But with me, I do have, of course, John with me. What's going on, John?
Doing pretty good today. I'm in my my temporary new spot, and this week my old spot is actually taken.
Yeah, as John's saying, this week we actually brought in a guest because I was like, Alex is gone. We got an open couch, so why not? So I have actually asked my friend Keyonta to actually be on with us today. What's up, Keyonta?
What's good?
You ready for this?
Yeah, ready as I can be.
All right. Well, we're going to see how this goes. It should be fun. Another interesting three-person conversation. But beforehand, I do got to mention that we do have a website. It is sparky3.com. You can come join us. Sign up for free. Membership is free. If you want to help support us, and you can do a premium membership for $5 and get early access to shows a day early, get access to premium blog posts and other things that we got going on there. Besides that, we do also have our merchandise store, sparky3shop.com, where if you want to wear one of our logos, and we would appreciate it, you can buy one of those, whether it want to be a hoodie, shirt, fanny pack, mug. I think there's a couple other weird things on there, but I can't remember.
If we can come up with it, we might put it on it.
Yeah. And besides that, you can always keep up to date on everything we're doing with GameStatic on GameStatic Pod on Twitter, Animan Plus whenever we get back from that. Once everyone comes back and I don't have a one-man show. And of course, a terrible football show, which I believe has actually had their last episode currently until the season starts.
Yeah, they're about to run out of content.
Yeah, Super Bowl's coming up, so they're about to be done for a little bit, but they'll be back for, I forget what it's called, but preseason training camp, something like that. I don't do sports.
They'll name it something.
So yeah, and of course, if you are watching this on YouTube, we appreciate it. YouTube.com. Hit that subscribe button. Help us continue building our community, whether it be on YouTube or on the website. And with that, I think I hit all our plugs again. I don't know. If not, Alex will yell at me later.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Well, kind of like last week. If we missed him at the beginning, we'll put him at the end.
So, anything interesting this week? Any fun things?
Not a lot of gaming this week. Lost Ark, about it.
You know, we say that because in this, we both Sifu and Lost Ark came out, but I still managed to pick up a random game. I don't know if you saw me playing on Steam, called Cardboard Kings.
Oh, yeah. I did see you playing that, and I looked at it. Oh, that did remind me. You know, a couple weeks ago when I was shouting out that Vampire Survivors game?
Yeah, that weird thing.
Yeah. At that time when I was playing it, it had like less than 1,000 reviews on Steam. Not very active.
Don't tell me it skyrocketed.
Oh my god, that game is popped off like crazy.
Is this something you've picked up, Keyonta?
I haven't picked it up, but I saw on Steam that the reviews were overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah, I think at this point there's about 40,000 overwhelmingly positive reviews, and there's at any given time during the day about 50,000 people playing it.
What the hell?
It's like, that's great to see because they keep updating. It's getting an update like 2 times a week right now.
Damn.
It's minor things, but I mean, it's a relatively simple and small game, but it's done exceptionally well.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I randomly picked up Cardboard Kings, which is a management collector game where you more or less run a card shop and more or less run buying cards cheap, trying to sell them, building up your community there. I mean, it's a nice little just shut my brain off game.
Yeah, because I saw it pop up and I was like, I'd never heard of this game, but I see card in the name, so it makes sense.
Yes, because I have an obsession with playing card games. Just this time, I'm not actually playing the card game. I'm selling the card game.
Nice to switch it up every now and then.
Yes. But, yeah, I mean, not a whole lot. Main thing besides that was Sifu and whatnot, which we'll get to at some point. That game's ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't end up picking it up, but I didn't watch much on it, but the little I have seen, I mean, it looked crazy. But yeah, like you said, we'll get to that in a little bit.
But what do we got going on, John? What has shown up this week?
Well, looks like we might have had another video game movie flop.
Woo!
Not sure if it's that big of a surprise, but I mean this one. This was the Uncharted movie, which is currently sitting at a 44% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I didn't even realize that came out.
I knew it was coming out. I didn't realize it was out already.
The only thing I really got from this was that for whatever reason, my phone likes to send me weird news articles. Was that there was apparently a thing that Mark Wahlberg gifted Tom Holland like some massage stick thing, and Tom Holland thought it was for self-pleasure.
Yeah, no, I saw a brief clip about that, and I was like, I don't know why this is showing up.
And that was dumb.
But yeah, that's just, I mean, latest in a line of many not great movies. I haven't seen it. Maybe it's better than the ratings show, but from what I had seen in the trailer, I didn't really have high hopes for it.
I was about to say I was sort of the same. I mean, Alex will always continue to root for Sonic, and then we can only hope that Mario does just as well, so we can get Mario and Sonic Olympics live action film.
Well, I mean, at least there with the Mario one, they've gone for it.
Oh, no. With that
regardless of if it's a good movie or not, it's going to be a movie that people are going to watch just to hate.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, people don't really expect anything from it when you're throwing this many big name actors at it. It's going to be weird.
I mean, you got a point.
Regardless, it's going to seem strange hearing all these actors we know about with those voices.
Will forever be cursed with Bowser forever being voiced by Jack Black.
Oh, yeah. That's the highlight.
Like he's going to make a stellar performance, but it's still going to be an interesting movie.
Yeah, we'll see. Christmas time.
And then we had, looks like Red Dead Redemption 2 has officially passed 43 million copies since launch. And we still don't have a next-gen version.
I mean, it is sort of funny, though, that Red Dead still doesn't have a next-gen, but GTA 5 has ascended 5 different generations.
Well, I mean,
and it's both made by Rockstar.
I mean, yeah, Red Dead Redemption sold a lot of copies. You can't discredit 43 million.
I mean, you can't.
But they know where their money is.
I mean, Red Dead Redemption is an amazing game. But yeah, GTA 5 is just, we don't need Westerns. We got gangs and planes and boats.
So it's like that game's going to keep selling. People are going to keep buying it. If we release a next-gen version, doesn't matter when, they'll buy it.
Yeah.
And then, speaking of Rockstar, they've also officially and finally announced that GTA 6 is in active development.
I mean, all right.
I mean,
we knew it was at least somewhere.
Yeah, but I mean, get the official announcement from them, and it's kind of an overwhelming meh, I think, because everybody's still playing GTA 5.
And I mean, it was just that it's in development. They didn't say anything else, so we may not see that till like 2025, 26 possibly.
Yeah, now we're just going to keep getting the question of, when's it actually coming out?
You know what? One game that actually some articles popped up about, which we might actually see this year, that's been in like almost a decade of development and switching developers. Dead Island 2.
I almost said the wrong name. I was gonna throw it out there. For some reason, I almost said Dying Light.
Well, we did just have Dying Light 2 last week, but yeah, Dead Island 2 is apparently a game that may show up this year randomly after almost a decade of developer switching and game development hell.
Yeah, I saw this pop up, and I my immediate reaction was, I forgot they said they were going to do that.
I never forgot because I played the shit out of Dead Island 1. Did either of y'all play it?
Nope.
I picked it up and played it briefly, but it's not one I ever sat down and actually tried to do a playthrough of.
Yeah, because I mean, Dead Island had some ridiculously good just cinematic trailers. Like, I still actually have favorited the original Dead Island trailer. That's the sort of reverse seeing the zombie falling out of the window.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is a ridiculously good trailer. Yeah, that's something people can maybe look forward to as a random Dead Island revival in the franchise.
I mean, it'll come out, and I mean, as long as they do some good promotion for it, people will probably want to jump in and give it a try. That, or, I mean, people like you out there who've never forgotten.
I mean, it would be a nice sort of transition because there's not a whole as many zombie games as way back then during this zombie freaking era that everyone had something zombie or horde mode.
Yeah, that's true. It's kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I don't understand this next thing that we have on here.
Why not?
It's not a typo, is it?
Oh no, that's definitely a typo.
Okay.
And I was gonna call Alex out on it, so here we go.
I'm gonna assume million on this.
Well, yes, but I was also gonna mention that it's Fire Emblem Three Houses and not Fire Emblem Heroes.
Okay, I've been so confused looking at this. So what it says on here is Fire Emblem Heroes has made $959 since launch.
And the game is still was just announced Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, I've been looking at this since I had originally seen it, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna call it out until the show.
So I assume it means Fire Emblem Three Houses has sold $959 million. Has made that much.
I thought it made more than that, but I didn't put it on there, so that we might this little segment you might just disregard a little bit.
And depending on what editor Alex does, it may just disappear.
Yeah, I was reading that, and that's why I was so confused earlier.
No.
Oh,
We've
okay.
got it says you put in here. No, it's Fire Emblem Heroes, not Three Houses, and it has been updated to million. So,
Okay. I'm not sure which one that is then. I really don't know which one that is now.
it's not the mobile game, is it?
It might be. I forget that there's a mobile game. So yeah, disregard this segment. We don't know what
We've got there in the end. I'll do a redo of it real quick. Fire Emblem Heroes has made $959 million since launch.
That's great.
Yeah, got it in one. All right.
Oh man.
And didn't think we'd be coming back around to this, but Platinum Games still really wants to revive Scalebound.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember this. I remember this when it was announced that it was canceled.
Yeah. Do you remember what this was, Keyonta?
I have no idea what Scalebound is.
So Scalebound was going to be the open world. Hey, I have a dragon backing me. Go fuck that shit up. And more or less, you're going to play with this dragon partner who you trained up and everything, and just, I got a big ass dragon. I mean, it looked very good. You can still find some of the old gameplays with it. It looks solid. I think it was originally announced for Xbox One, wasn't it?
I think so. It was when it was originally talked about.
Okay. But yeah, and everything. And then after like 4 years after it was announced, it suddenly came out that it was being canceled.
Yeah, because it went quiet for a while, and then it was kind of like, when are we going to hear? Oh, it's gone.
Yeah. And everyone thought it was pretty much gone. But now?
Yeah, apparently Hideki Kayama, if I butchered that, then apologies, has been talking about it for a while, and that he still wants to talk to Microsoft about it. Apparently, he's quoted saying, "I'd like to appeal to Phil Spencer directly. Let's do it, Phil." And the Platinum Inn president, Atushi Inaba, often in an interview, you might hear a developer politely saying, "Yeah, if we had the opportunity, we'd love to work on that again. But we don't mean it in that way. Both Kayama and I are serious. We would love to work on Scalebound again, and I would love to discuss it with Microsoft properly."
I mean, it would definitely be an interesting game to see come back, considering I think we've had a few other games out there that were sort of a monster companion games that were fairly well received from my remembrance, but none were as action focused as what Scalebound was going to be.
Yeah, I'd probably have to go back and look at some of what it was before again, just to get a better idea of it. But I mean, it'd be nice to see them like kind of just be like, Microsoft be like, you know what? Yeah, give it a shot. See what you can do. See, it's like spend a little time, work on it. Here's a little cash. Show us your updated version.
I mean, yeah, it would be interesting. I mean, we know Microsoft has the money.
Yeah, they're not afraid to flex that.
You mentioning Scalebound and the whole monster fighting for you kind of reminds me of, like, I think it's a Korean game that's in the works. It kind of gives me like Pokemon vibes, where you kind of run around this huge glamorous city, and you have like these little guys that follow you around. I think the one that sticks out to me the most is like a little panda guy, but I can't remember what the game is.
You talking about Dokev?
It might be that. Is it the one where your character's kind of like a little kid running around?
Yeah, no, the game that's being done by the Black Pearl team, or Black Desert team.
Pearl Abyss.
Pearl Abyss. Yes, I knew it was in there somewhere.
you got all of the aspects in the wrong order.
Yeah, no, because I'm looking forward to when that comes out. Because back when they announced that, freaking that trailer was awesome. The gameplay looks actually fairly interesting, but I still don't know what it's doing.
Because I mean the trailer, while pretty cool, you couldn't tell what the fuck was happening.
Other than they made a new engine and it looks stellar.
Yeah, it was a lot of colors, a lot of flashing lights in there, not a lot of knowing what was happening.
And the only thing we've gotten since then was a weird dance scene with the characters, which was really weird. That's literally the only other thing we've gotten about Dokev.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need from them.
And whatever. But getting past all that stuff, actually hitting up some of the talking points we got this week. So this week, like we've already mentioned of something that was announced from, the Nintendo Direct came out this week, and it was a pretty big Direct. We honestly got quite a bit of things out of it. And one of the bigger things that came out of it, everything besides its last announcement of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, all this is planned to have content out by no later than June.
Yeah, that's a bit of a curveball, I'd say, that Nintendo's throwing at us. Normally, we don't get information on games that are coming out the same year, much less like in the same half of the year.
And not this much content.
Yeah, normally they'd be like, okay, here's a 45-minute Direct on 4 games coming out in a year and a half.
And then here's all the bunch of retro stuff we're upping. But
yeah.
I mean, one of the big ones that I got from this was, and I know Alex was probably happy about, was from, of course, Koei Tecmo, Fire Emblem Warriors, The Three Hopes, which is planned to come out at June 24th at this time, which seems to be, it's a Warriors game and an alternate timeline from Three Houses. So it's Three Houses characters, but a different timeline where you don't join one of the factions as Bailiff and end up offing the other two.
Yeah, hell, it looked like a Koei Tecmo game.
Oh, it's Koei Tecmo. It has warriors.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a Warriors game with Fire Emblem characters. I mean, which is what it is. Koei Tecmo knows their stuff.
It's gonna be interesting to do a Koei Tecmo game with a dragon rider shooting your bow and then just random dragon.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, no, I mean it looks interesting. I mean, I'm not usually big on the Warriors games, but I like you said, I know Alex is gonna be excited about this one.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Koei Tecmo, next week I got Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. Yeah. Koei Tecmo.
But yeah, I'm gonna just quickly run through the kind of the list of stuff that came out, and then we'll circle back on some of these more notable ones. We had Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp on April
4/8.
Yeah, April 8th. I was trying to get the month. And then we got No Man's Sky apparently coming to the Switch this summer, which that one kind of came out of nowhere. We got Mario Strikers Battle League on 6/10. We got another look at Splatoon 3, Front Missions First Remake, and Front Missions 2 Remake coming later. Disney Speedstorm, Star Wars The Force Unleashed, Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection, Gundam Battle Alliance, We got a Chrono Cross remaster on 4/7. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. We got another look at that, and Kirby Mouthful Mode. We got
Klonoa.
1 and 2. We got a Portal collection. We got Love Alive.
What? Live Alive.
Live Alive.
Love Alive is a completely different thing.
Close. I got close.
No, one's idols, the other one's a bunch of people being killed.
Yeah, man, that's two sides of the same coin.
No, it's not.
I don't know what coins you're flipping then. We got a updated version of, or we got a new version of their sports lineup from Wii Sports. We got Switch Sports now. We got another look at Triangle Strategy, not Project. Metroid Dread's getting a free update, including Dread Mode and Rookie Mode. And we're getting Earthbound and Earthbound Beginning coming to Nintendo Switch Online. And we're getting, I guess we need to bash those new Mario Kart kind of thoughts we were having a couple weeks ago, because we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC announced.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then the big one at the end was the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 releasing in September.
So yeah, overall, this was a very good list of announcements, everything, and that's not quite everything. There's a few things that was missed, like what you were mentioning earlier, John, the Taiko drums game, the rhythm game.
Yeah, it was Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival, which was announced as well, where the game, I believe it comes with 75 songs, but in a surprise move from Nintendo, also includes a in-game subscription service that gives you access to over 500 songs.
Which, as far as John and me was aware, this is probably the first time Nintendo's had anything like that on one of their consoles.
Yeah, because they've started getting more comfortable dipping their toes into DLC. They're not afraid of that anymore. But as far as just
obviously not with friggin' Nintendo N64 being friggin' $60.
Yeah, and then but them just straight having a subscription to a singular game in their library, that was the immediate draw that I had. Or the immediate thing that popped out to me when I was watching the Direct was they said in-game subscription. I went, wait a second, Nintendo, what are you doing here?
This isn't Rock Band.
But yeah, so that was just something I found interesting from that announcement, because very, very new for them. I don't know if this is them just dipping their toe in to see how popular it is or how well received it is, and then they might think, we might be able to do this for couple other games.
Yeah. But one thing I do want to ask you, Keyonta, because I know we've talked and you said you're not a big Nintendo person and messing with that stuff. How do just hearing these things, just what at a sort of piques your interest slightly of what's coming out this year from Nintendo?
Well, I've never played a Xenoblade game, but I've understood the hype behind it. So Xenoblade Chronicles 3 coming out is something that kind of piques my interest and might make me sit down and actually go back to play the games. And the Mario, or not, I think it was the Mario Strikers one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one just seems fun.
Did you ever play the original Strikers on GameCube?
Nope.
See, this one came out of nowhere, because with Strikers, I was just like, we're never getting another Strikers. We get baseball and tennis. We're never getting another Strikers. And they announced this, I was like, what are you doing, Nintendo?
Yeah, when the announcement started for it, I was a little confused at first. The second it came up, I went, oh, okay. Yeah, there's some people are going to be happy about this one.
Yeah, I mean, Strikers, as far as I was concerned, was one of the better sports games for me, at least. It's just, it looks ridiculous with the whole equipping gear and then having the special shots and everything, which is traditional Nintendo.
Yeah, you gotta give all your wacky characters their own special abilities. But yeah, that was one that kind of jumped out at me. That was like, this is gonna be one of the ones that people are gonna like.
One of the other ones that sort of jumped at me out was Chrono Cross.
Yeah,
the remaster of that. I saw that, I went, I could pay to get it again, but I got an original copy over here.
Yeah, not everybody's gonna want to go out and get the original copies.
I mean, it'll be good because looking at it, the remastered update for graphics and one looks very nice, and will give it a lot of people a chance to play a very good classic JRPG with one of the bigger initial companion rosters that a lot of people have missed from this generation and whatnot, or never had a chance to play it back when it was on, like, I don't remember what system it was exactly on. I think it was PlayStation, because I say I have an original copy because I have the one that was remastered for DS, actually. And I believe the original is on PlayStation.
Okay, but yeah, starting to notice a little trend that Nintendo's getting into a little bit, where they're liking to start grabbing up some of these older JRPGs and get the remasters for them.
Yep.
And that's great for Switch because one is like, as long as they keep the price reasonable, which they've been better about with some of their older games or their remaster games. Just the fact of it being on the Switch, people are likely to pick it up just to give it a try.
Yeah.
And then people that are big fans of the original games or big fans of them, of JRPGs in general, and want to go back and try some of the more classic games, are more than likely going to pick it up. And like some of these being remasters means putting it on the Switch. You ain't got to worry about the performance or anything either.
No, because one thing that a lot of people said, Switch doesn't have the biggest hardware, but it can run one of these older games, which doesn't need necessarily as much hardware and whatnot, processor software. Versus one of their mainline games, Kirby. What the heck do y'all think about the big mouthful thing?
Amazing.
You think it's amazing?
Yes, amazing.
The whole giant, I can't fit it in my mouth.
I just think it's just comical to see Kirby inhale an entire car and then become a car.
Personally, I don't have strong opinions on this game. I know you and Alex have been looking at it.
I'm going to play this.
And I saw this and I went, oh man, I'm glad I wasn't excited about it.
Because I enjoy the Kirby series and I like the Kirby series. But I mean, I saw the mouthful thing and I was like, interesting mechanic. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to deal with the car. Because it looks like it may haunt dreams. Because you know the old Stephen King book turned film, Christine, about the friggin'
Yep.
the killer car that hunts people down. Because that's literally all I could see was now that just vehicle covered by a big pink thing.
Oh, man, you know what? I will let you have fun eating all your weird objects and turning into them.
I can become a boomerang.
You can become whatever you want to, man.
The vending machine is honestly the best transformation.
I forgot that they should have the vending machine.
Ironically, that was like I had flipped away from it during the direct at first and went back, and when I came back to it, it was showing the vending machine, and I was like, oh my, what did I come back to?
But I mean, overall, this was like, I think the first big gameplay we got to see. I mean, it looked good. It looked interesting. I'm still looking forward to it. Saving the Waddle Dees again, trying to build a city.
Are either of you at all interested in the Switch Sports variation that came out? Really?
It seems interesting. It just reminds me of Wii Sports.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to.
It's what it is. It's an updated version.
Oh, it's just them going, people liked Wii Sports. We probably should have done this sooner.
So for people to know, what's actually going to be on this is bowling, tennis, chambara, soccer, badminton, volleyball, and apparently golf is going to be added at some point this year for free.
Yeah, the golf is coming. That's honestly, the golf is the one I'm more excited about playing it. I know there's something about playing virtual golf that's fun. Okay.
We never picked up friggin' Mario Speed Golfing
because I knew you guys weren't gonna buy it.
I mean, fair enough, but
I've learned better than buy games because you guys say you're gonna buy them. But during the direct, it was, man, Nintendo needs to stop doing these like awkward segments where they just where they just try to show off the motion controls of the Switch.
I know you just saw the cliffhanger, Keyonta, but did you see friggin' I forget their names, but it was two of the executives trying to play volleyball on
Oh no, I thought they were playing Was it volleyball?
It was
Oh, I
volleyball.
was thinking badminton for some reason. Yeah, they took like a couple minutes in the middle of the direct to play an online volleyball Switch sports game.
With their Wii
Interesting.
people. So, of course, they got their ridiculous heads, and it's just showing the gameplay, and the two of them just on side go.
Well, the worst part is they had a guy commentating it like it was
Right.
action-packed.
At the
So, yeah.
esports commentator.
So, yeah, no, you got these two old Japanese guys and then some random white guy doing live translation for all of us here in the West.
Yeah, then Triangle Strategy got announced that a new demo was going to be available for it that would go to Act 3. And it has been confirmed that the demo can carry over to the full game.
See, that was actually a very nice announcement. I know you and Alex are looking forward to this game. I was sort of, it's there. But because of the demo thing, I might actually try and mess with it, see how it is. I mean, not a whole lot of games out there that, first off, get demos nowadays, and secondly, allow you to actually transfer content over.
Yeah, because they had a demo previously, but I think they've updated the game since then. And I knew that they had said they were, or I thought I'd heard they said they were going to do another demo for it with kind of like a more updated version. But I'm hesitant on demos because I don't replay games or like kind of like story games as much as I used to anymore. So I'm a little hesitant to play through the beginning portions of games multiple times because I'm less likely to want to play through it when the game actually comes around.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can carry it through means that I'll be much more likely to actually play the demo.
And I feel like a lot of people will be that way, especially if people were on the fence about it, and now they got 3 chapters worth of content, which just the first chapter alone with most games like this is a lot of just narrative. So really get into and try and fill it out. And then the last big thing that we've mentioned several times is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 being announced, which, if I remember correctly, there was rumors about it coming out and people were sort of waiting for it, but actually getting the actual full announcement, actually seeing some cinematics from it, a little bit of gameplay here and there. I know nothing about Xenoblade Chronicles besides Shulk, and people being mad that the boob changing bar was removed from 2 in the West version.
Yeah, I didn't play a lot of Xenoblade 2. I played like the first third of Xenoblade Chronicles. Didn't stop for any particular reason, but I may go back and actually try to play through and finish those games before, or maybe not before this one comes out, but play them to get more used to the games again before this one comes out.
Yeah, because the big thing with this is apparently it's going to be a conflict of the 2 futures from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. So some time loop shenanigans.
Yeah, why not? I don't know. It'll be interesting. People love Xenoblade, so pretty sure they were all excited about this.
Hey, here's a nice little thing I just got up for an article. Lost Ark becomes the second most played game in Steam history after just 24 hours.
I heard about that earlier. It actually topped CSGO because at first it was number 3, and it passed CSGO earlier today, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because little bit of launch trouble yesterday. Servers were down. The servers are supposed to be up in the morning.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then they went down. Took longer than expected to actually get them up, and then I believe they took them down again because they thought characters might be getting lost from the 3 days early. Took it down just to confirm that wasn't happening.
Yeah, no, that was apparently a trend this week because Sifu also had some issues with that. So people could have pre-ordered the deluxe version of Sifu to get access to it a day early because it came out on Tuesday, but people could get it early access on Monday. But specifically on PS4, people were locked out of downloading it once ever midnight hit, which it got fixed after a couple of hours, but people got real pissy about it.
Oh yeah, good. It's especially for something like that. It's like
they paid extra and whatnot.
Midnight unlock. You're paying to get it early, but then the time hits and you're not allowed to download the game. If you're staying up to get it or play it right when it unlocks, then I could see the annoyance there.
I mean, I understand the annoyance, and I am in agreement with it, not saying that people shouldn't be annoyed. I was annoyed by the fact that people were getting all uppity and just immediately demanding refunds and whatnot, even though Slow Clap immediately addressed it, got with PlayStation, and got it done as soon as possible.
Yeah, especially for like something like that. Your game, the early portion of your game drops doesn't work on one platform.
Yeah, because on PlayStation 5 and PC, it was apparently fine. Everyone else, it was just specifically PS4. But I mean, before we move on to the other games, I mean, any last things on the Direct?
Briefly touch on the Mario Kart DLC because we had talked.
Yeah.
We had talked, and we're no real like information, but we're pretty sure that a Mario Kart 9 was going to be coming out, mainly just because of how long it's been, and thinking, well, if they're going to do anything with it after this amount of time, they're going to make a new game.
You know what
Lo
they did?
and behold, DLC time. So just brief rundown. 48 tracks from past Mario Kart games will be released over until 2023 in 6 waves. This will be added to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack like Animal Crossing was earlier in the year. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that just kills Mario Kart 9 for this generation of Switch. We probably won't get it until they decide to make a new console.
They're gonna milk Mario Kart like they milk Smash.
Oh, man, they're milking Mario Kart like Rockstar milks GTA 5.
No, GTA 5 at least goes to new consoles.
Hey, they don't need it to go to new consoles because it's still their #1 selling game.
Is it still?
I don't think it's ever been topped.
I think you're right.
But yeah, that I just wanted to briefly touch on that before we jumped into your thoughts on Sifu here, since you're the one who played it.
I mean, I enjoy Sifu. See, I didn't have to deal with the nonsense of not downloading because I was like, I don't need it a day early. I'm already going to hate myself playing it. So, Sifu, for anyone who doesn't know, is a action-adventure fighting roguelite. I like to tell people, think of it more of a fighting game roguelite. Because for the casual players, this is going to kick your ass. There's nothing else about it. Because it's true to the martial arts part of it, you have to actively learn combos and be able to beat the AI, because there's only one difficulty, and that's it. You don't get to choose. It just knocks you into that sucker.
Apparently there are difficulties coming soon.
Yes.
Or coming, I don't know how soon, but it looks like they're having an easy difficulty and then an ultra hard mode on the way.
Yes, so one difficulty for all the casual people, then the other mode for all the mad lads out there who went, this isn't hard enough.
So I'm actually thinking about picking it up. Is it on Steam or is there different?
It is on Steam, PS4, and PS5.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if it's specifically on Steam, but there is a PC release out there somewhere.
I think it's Epic Games exclusive.
I was about to say, I said Steam, but I didn't think that because I didn't remember seeing it on Steam.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Epic Games exclusive for right now.
Well,
yeah.
I'll probably pick it up then.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I would hate to try and play this on PC because, I mean, I like fighting games and I enjoy the controller. PC just seems no.
You just play it on PC with a controller.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, but I would think in like keyboard would be a nightmare.
No. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm having fun with it. It looks visually good. It starts you off playing as the final boss. You show up to a school, murder everybody in it. It was apparently the school he got trained at, and kills everyone. Kills 12-year-old you. Like the game doesn't get mentioned in any of the trailers one night, but there's weird mystical crap going on. Cause straight up in the opening scene when the guy's just like, "Come out," and you get out of the cupboard, he's like, "Oh well, kill him, kill it." Dude literally cuts your head off. They walk away, and then the kid has the friggin' weird talisman things that ages you, and just gets back up.
Yeah, because this this game, like the thing with it is when you die, you age, right?
Yeah, so the whole mechanic with the roguelite is that you have this talisman that has these coins on it, and every time you go down, you can rise again and continue fighting, but you gain age. And how it works is you gain an age for every death you've had. So you go down once, you go up 1. So if you start at 20, go down and go to 21. If you go down again, it goes up to 2. You go from 21 to 23. 3, 23 to 26, so on and so forth. And how that mechanic works is more or less as each time you go down, you can actually spend the experience you've earned at this point to go ahead and get yourself some skills that you can immediately reuse in getting back up. Or you can just get back up and it goes up, and every segments of 10, coin breaks, and you get older. Your visual looks changes. You get some wrinkles, scars here and there, hair changes, and you do more damage now, but you also have less health.
So how old are you?
Well, in this run, I am currently 25.
How old were you?
If I count up all my runs, 565.
Out of how many runs?
Yeah, I'm feeling like he's just finding the most difficult way to answer this question possible.
Out of 6 runs, because you can max out at about round 70 or so.
Okay, so you found the max.
Yeah, there is a max because you start at 20. There's 5 coins. It breaks about every 10. So
Okay.
So depending on how much you get your ass kicked, you end up being somewhere in the 60, 70 range when you die.
Okay, so if you max it out, is that just run over?
Yeah, it runs over. And the real hard part about this is that, so you can earn, by getting XP, by beating people up, you can get skills and other things to be able to combo and things like that. And you unlock it for that run. If your run dies, you lose all that. So it's a complete reset. The only way to keep it is by, in your run, paying for it initially, unlocking it, and then paying that same cost 5 more times will unlock it permanently, and you now have it in all your runs. So that's sort of a brutal mechanic, especially for casual people who don't want to put in a lot of time, because like literally for me, after having played for about 4 days before getting access to Lost Ark, I've only played the first 2 levels, the warehouse area, which I can never remember the name of, and the club. And I've literally just been grinding those 2 levels for XP to unlock skills permanently, so I can just combo. Because, as I said, I've mentioned this before, speedrunning in this game will look fantastic once people get it down. It'll look like a straight-up just martial arts movie.
I was laughing at that a little bit because there's two mindsets behind, I guess, how to complete runs in this. You either beat your head against the wall and just go through it, or you take the Zach mentality and you go, no, fuck this. I know how to grind.
Yes. Yeah, there's that too. You either beat your head against it until you manage to win, or you do my thing and grind. Because, I mean, I got decades of MMO. I can grind. This shit's easy.
Well, that's what I was thinking when you said you can unlock it permanently by doing it the 5 times. I'm like, well, that just sounds like you get that portion of it down pat, and then you're good. Yeah, no,
literally, because like as I said, I've been playing the first 2 levels just over and over, and there's a weird detective board where any like clues or items you pick up in the level you just keep, and that doesn't disappear. You keep that throughout all your runs. So like, because you can get keys that let you unlock, that let you go through doors early in the levels, that let you just skip a bunch of stuff if you want to, and more or less just streamline the bosses and things like that for future runs. And like the first 2 levels, I've gotten freaking down pat. Because you start at 20. The first time I ran the first level and fought the guy who's called the botanist, who's the one who actually beheads you in the opening scene. The first time I fought him, I left that level at age 56.
Attaboy.
He whooped my ass. Him and all his goons beat the shit out of me. And I went to the club at 56. I got knocked out. I went down like 3 times and my run was over. After like 2 days of playing, I've gotten to the point where I'm only at, I go down 3 times. And which I forgot to mention when I was playing the death thing. There's special, stronger mooks who, if you beat them, or if they're like a side boss or something, it takes a mark away from your death counter.
Okay.
Or you can also use the shrines that are spread throughout the levels to spend XP to just zero out your death counter as well. Because there's a shrine that you can find throughout the level that lets you get like bonuses. There's 3 bonuses based on whatever your age is, 3 bonuses based on your score for that level, and then 3 based on whatever XP you've earned at that time.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I went from getting my ass kicked and being like 56 by the time I'm finished level to I beat them. I'm only, well, actually, I think back, I did a better run just yesterday, and I'm actually finished it at 23, so I went down twice. It's a lot of learning, man.
Yeah, I assume with that, like you were saying, like for speed running and that, it kind of gets to a point where like you find the combos that work for you in a sense, and then it's muscle memory at that point.
Yeah, and I appreciate sort of at least the level designs because each level is very unique, and also the enemies are actually unique. So like the first level, they're fairly standard, just grunts. You can just beat through them with your quick attacks and whatnot, and things like that. If you do combos, great, it makes it simpler, but it's not necessary. And there's actually a lot of weapons lying around to help you just beat people's faces in. Versus the club, you need a little bit more coordination. Your quick attacks don't always work as well. You need to incorporate in your heavy attacks more. If you want to use a weapon, you have to be more interacting with the environment, throwing people into stuff to break things, picking it up and just using it. There's a skill you can get where people throw bottles or things at it, you catch it and just throw it back at them like an asshole. So I appreciate how also each of the enemies also sort of progress with you on each stage, at least so far I've experienced.
Yeah. So it sounds like the club level is kind of like the harsh reality where you go through the first one and you're like, you don't have to do all the fancy stuff, but you can. And then, so if you go through it being like, oh, this wasn't too bad, finally make your way through and beat it, and then get to there and you go, oh, shit.
Yeah, the club's more or less, now you got to use some combos.
Yeah, it's like you spend a few hours getting your ass kicked in the first level, finally beat it, and then it goes, oh, here's the game.
Yeah. I mean, I've still been having fun with it because, like, even though it is sort of a head-banging game, every time I would play it, I would get wrecked by the fighter, who's the boss of the club, who's got his giant-ass staff. Oh, that's a pillar. And wrecks my shit every time still. I'll get destroyed. I'll set my controller down. I'll turn on my PS4, start looking at my computer and go, shit. Turn my PS4 back and load that back up. I was like, I'm going to go again. So, I mean, I've been over like, having fun with it, just grinding and whatnot, learning the combos and things like that because it feels good once you actually hit those combos because, like, one of the simpler combos I've learned is just, and, like, it's very fluid, too. So, like, it's sort of a forward kick, leg sweep, punch him on the ground, pick him up, push him back, then chase him with fist. And, like, it's all very fluid. So, like, as your animation is finishing up with one, you can go ahead and put in your input for the next one and it just goes straight into it. So it's very fluid, feels nice. Even when, like, if you're in the middle of fighting, the weapon's near you, if you press circle, you just sort of hit, pick it up, and then you can just immediately throw it, and it's all just very fluid.
Okay. So it seems like they've kind of nailed down, like, the feeling of satisfaction of, like, learning.
Yes. Once you get it down and everything, and then the mystical crap I was talking about was, so in the boss fights, like the first one against the botanist, you're fighting him in this warehouse that's got a greenhouse growing these purple flowers. That's a drug that's being sold by them. And, like, you get them down, because at least so far each boss has 2 phases. You get them down to half health, you do a takedown maneuver, you start doing, they stop you, and then it goes in the second phase of the fight. And you go from fighting in a warehouse greenhouse to fighting in a bamboo forest.
I mean, that's just some drugs kicking in.
And fighting into a bamboo forest where he's just jumping out of the bamboo, cutting you. You pick up a bamboo stick, start fighting his machete with your bamboo stick. Which shouldn't work, mind you.
Nah, it works.
If you ever cut down bamboo, you know how hard it is.
I mean, it can, but still.
Oh, don't worry. He dulled the blade cutting you.
Yes, exactly. And then, like, at the club, you're going through the club and everything, and you just get to a point where you have to go through a trial for the disciples that the guy has started, because he's running a fight club dojo thing. There's a story here, but it's not really explained. You just sort of see it And if you follow along, great. If not, and you go through the trials, and just suddenly you're in a club, and now you're in a burning Chinese city. Which a real trick to it was, as you're going through it, if you're paying attention, they use the exact same level design for the club, but instead of being the club now, it's this burning city, which is a nice little touch that's changed. Yeah, you're suddenly just from middle of an urban city to middle of fucking nowhere. So they never mention the weird mystical stuff, so it's just sort of thrown at you.
I figured they've probably figured, at that point, you're not worried about that too much. You're just trying to survive.
I mean, I should have seen it coming by the fact that you're some guy that just keeps getting up, and as every time you get up, you're suddenly growing a beard, a ponytail, you're turning gray and all, and they're just like, what's going on?
He's been there for a long time, man.
But I mean, overall, I enjoy the game. If you're interested in trying to play a game with some actual skill level and whatnot, and wanting to learn things and whatnot, I'd definitely say pick it up.
Yeah, I'll probably end up picking it up because it's like I said before, it's been on my list for this year. So I will definitely be picking it up. I don't know when, but it'll be relatively soon.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, overall fun, but the big game of the week, the game that everyone's playing, Steam's number 2 most played, Lost Ark.
Yeah, which number 2 for now. I'll be interested to see where those numbers sit in a few weeks. I assume they'll still be pretty high. I assume because hell, most of the people I play games with have been waiting on this game to actually come out. So,
with this game's success, I still find it funny because it's Amazon who's picked it up and is being the publisher for it. This is a stark change versus their first game into this market of Crucible.
Yeah, because Crucible, the difference is Crucible was kind of janky.
It was.
And not smooth.
No.
But yeah, it's them just kind of publishing this one. It helps out.
Yeah.
But I think the person who has the most experience over here is Keyonta there.
And this is the reason he's a guest this week. Because versus all of us, I'm at like 2 hours because I waited till the game came out. I didn't want to fork up money for it because I had Sifu. John, you said you're about at 16?
I'm somewhere between 16 and 18 hours.
And Keyonta, you're at the grand total of?
Around 50, 60 with my current playthrough of the game right now with 11 hours on 2 characters.
Yeah, I still got one, everybody.
Well, I can't remember what game it was. Oh, Sifu. Similar to Sifu, the pre-order bonus thing where you could play 3 days early for Lost Ark actually had a really big hiccup with Steam servers where you could preload the game, and if you had preloaded it the night before, you would try to launch the game, and the file verification would just like crash. And it was down for, I think, 2 or 3 hours before you could actually even get in the game.
So they crashed to the opening of early access and then opening a free.
Yep.
This is just the week for crashing.
They're kind of on top of it though, because their launch day hiccup. It was down for most of the day. It was supposed to come out in the morning for us, and it came out I think it finally came up at about 3:30 p.m. Or something. But at least for the next few days, anybody that logs into the account gets 3 days of the crystalline aura buff.
I was curious why I suddenly got that.
Yeah, it was for the maintenance problems that they had.
I'm gonna just hoard that. I don't need it for early levels. I'll wait till I'm like 40 and I'm struggling.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts, Keyonta? You apparently you like this game.
Yeah, I would honestly say the game is really, really good because one of my friends has basically been in my ear about the game nonstop since he even ever heard about it. And I'm personally not an MMO person, but I had actually been looking forward to this one after testing the waters with the beta. And even with the rocky early beta launch, I still say that the game is really great and the response is really great. And my current like position on it, because there's so many other games I've been playing recently. Like I'm waiting for Elden Ring to drop. Monster Hunter Rise came out recently as well for PC.
This guy plays all the games we don't play.
I was about to say he's on his own pedestal. I mean, we needed someone like this.
This is none of us were interested in Monster Hunter Rise. None of us are planning on playing Elden Ring.
No.
I mean, literally, all of us are looking at it and go, "Hey, Elden Ring's still coming out, and people are still super hype about it." Monster Hunter Rise, I'm just constantly going, "Hey, the Vampire DLC's coming out."
That's what I'm really waiting for right now. I have a friend that I got on the game, and at first he was kind of iffy about it, but he immediately was like, "Okay, I actually think I'm in love with this game," and he plays the game until about 6:00 in the morning now, every day.
Damn.
So I can tell that he really likes it, but he's also one of my friends who's been really engaged in Lost Ark. I think he has maybe 4 more hours than me, but that's because he literally is hyped for just about every other game I'm hyped for right now. So he's been sinking that much time. But I do have a friend, I think his current total is at least like 50 hours. It's something ridiculous. But he does all his research for the game, and his current opinion is that the game is amazing.
So what are you currently running? Because you said you had 2 characters. I'm currently running a bard. John's...
I'm playing an artillerist.
Okay. I'm currently running with a Soul Fist, which is the...
That's the Saiyan, right?
Basically, yes.
Yes. I saw that and went, "Oh, Saiyan, cool."
And I have it's not the Deathblade. It's the...
Demon Hunter?
Yeah, the Demon Hunter, which... Only reason I picked Demon Hunter is because I have a group of friends of at least like 4 or 5 of us that try to group up to play most of the time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "So what are you guys going to play? What are you going to play? What are you going to play?" At least 3 of them said Deathblade. And I was like, "Okay, I'm not touching that," even though it looks really cool. So I went with Demon Hunter. And Soul Fist is what I played all my beta time on. And I honestly would say it's a really, really fun class, because you have the Z hype up. I think it's like the Ki or Ki, where you can kind of just like hype yourself up, do more damage, move around, resets, and just overall fun. I know late game you get a Spirit Bomb, and that's all I cared about.
I was about to say, I saw that because like my first 30 minutes of the game was just watching the characters' videos and then seeing the specialization. And I was looking at Soul Fist and just going, "Oh, there's a bunch of Ki Blasts. Oh, that's a Kamehameha. Oh, they're charging. Is that a damn Spirit Bomb?"
I can't remember what...
He gets a Spirit Bomb. I sit in a little turret that locks me in place.
Yeah, I saw that with the male gunslinger. I went, "Oh, okay, that's nifty."
Which the Artillerist does look really fun.
Oh, it's fun to play. I'm not the biggest fan of its like Z like burst skill or whatever it is, like where he jumps in the turret right now. That's mainly just because I don't have the skills unlocked for it right now. So it's very underwhelming at the point I'm at. But everything else about the class I'm having a lot of fun with. It's not it so far hasn't been the highest damage that I've seen, but I mean I can blow up waves of enemies faster than anybody else I've seen so far.
With all the the reviews I've seen for the class, it seems that Artillerist is more of a ad clear kind of class.
Yeah, it's at least from what I've experienced, it's much more like, okay, the hordes of enemies are over there. I'll go take care of that. You guys get the rest of it.
And I went Bard with my Z. I can heal on my X. I can buff, and I'm just like, either fight, don't piss me off, or I leave you. You want shields? Fuck off.
But yeah, no, right? Because currently, like I said, I've got like somewhere between 16 and 18 hours, and my character's around like level 32 or so, and I did my first match-made dungeon because I've been soloing all of them before. So I did the first one with actual matchmaking, and it's a lot easier.
Yes,
it's a lot faster.
Definitely.
I mean, I appreciate the solo effort, John.
Well, I soloed the previous dungeon because some of them, like the early zone dungeons, are like kind of small. You go through like 3 little areas, and have a couple like boss fights there. The other dungeons, like you gotta traverse. It's like you gotta traverse this large damn cavern, and like you gotta like 3 boss fights or something in it, but they're spread out a lot further. There's way more ads, and then just soloing it just takes a lot longer to do.
I was still funny that you hit the second boss and went, yeah, I'm gonna still solo this.
I was committed. I wasn't leaving. It wasn't. It wasn't hard.
Okay. It was just time consuming.
Yeah, the first of the bigger dungeons I died for my first time during that, but that was because I hit the wrong key, hit my Z key, and locked myself into place.
Oops.
And when I was surrounded by enemies, and I just got fucking bursted.
See, I've only got 2 hours in, so I've done the prologue and then just done the initial city stuff in there. And I got to the adventure book thing and opened up, and I went, shit. I was like, y'all have a track record of finding shit? Shit. And I was just like, well, time to complete this thing for stupid rep rewards.
Well, the thing with the completing the adventurer's tome is I think the level 100 thing.
You actually get good stuff for it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, is you actually get decent things for it if you complete each one. I assume there's a different page for each zone.
Yep.
And
it basically do the same. It's like do all of the same type of stuff in every zone. But rewards are good.
Yeah, we'll see. Because I guess I'll see. Because at some point, I want to link up with you, John. Keyonta, I'm not sure. Because I'm just going to be like, I'm pointless here. With you and your friggin' Deathblade friends.
Well, my friends are currently, one of them's a female gunslinger, which actually has an advantage over the male gunslinger because of the male gunslinger's shotgun thing, but I'm not going to go into that. But I think my other friend is playing a sorceress, and I'm not sure about the other guy.
Yeah, because I know one of my friends who started playing it this morning, he's playing Gunlancer.
See, I saw Gunlancer, and all I could think of is, it seems very tedious and boring to me.
Well, from what he said, he was curious about playing it because he was a big fan of the Gunlance in Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
So he also wanted to play like a tankier class, and apparently Gunlancer is about as tanky as we have.
That's what I got from everything we have right now. If you want a tank, it's either Gunlancer or the weird Berserker. Would that be an agreement, Keyonta?
That, and I'm pretty sure the Paladin is like close runner-up, but it doesn't have near as much defense as the other two.
Yeah.
So if you're running a team without a warrior, guys, I hope you can dodge.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand of the game is there's not necessarily like the traditional MMO like trio of healer, DPS, tank. It's more of tanky, supporty, and a lot of fucking damage.
I guess we should backtrack a little. So just if you for some reason haven't checked out Lost Ark and don't know anything, it is a top-down action game where you're attacking stuff, doing combos, things like that, and activating skills more in a open world action type game versus RPG. Think of Path of Exile, things like that, if you've ever played any of those, because we never actually bothered mentioning any of the mechanics. We just dove into it.
I just assume. This is one of those ones that I assume people know about because it's been, I mean, hell, it's topping charts on release day, and people have been waiting on it for like 6 years.
For that small margin of you, I got you.
Yeah, for the small margin, he's got you covered.
But overall, so Keyonta, since you have the most, what does in-game content look like in this game so far?
In-game content, which did not get to.
Okay, what's mid-game content?
I would honestly say it doesn't really feel like there's too much of a difference until you hit level 50.
Yeah.
Because I've done my research, and my friend, that's all he ever talks about. Because he was talking about that before I even left earlier. And in-game is Chaos Dungeons, I think Guardian Raids.
Yeah, Chaos Dungeons, Guardian Raids, and there's a boss rush.
Yeah, and I think there's another dungeon, or it's something like Chaos Dungeons, but I can't remember what it's called. And you can also do islands, which is how you get your main resources for speccing late game.
The heck is islands?
Well, you get a ship at some point. Don't know when.
Yeah, I don't have a ship to traverse it. I think I'm about to get it. If some of what I've seen is because I think that the zone that I'm in, when I leave the zone, I'm supposed to travel to a new continent.
Most likely. But I never got that far. I think I got to maybe level 32 and 32, 31 in the actual like beta. Switch characters just to mess around with everything. And then I was like, yeah, I'll definitely get this game. And then I stopped playing.
And then something John and me were actually talking about is apparently the game actually promotes having alternate characters because you were saying, John, once you max a character, you get something that's called like a power pass or something.
Yeah, one thing is some of the in-game content, like the Chaos Dungeon and Guardian raids, are kind of like number locked per character. So you can only do a certain amount per character per day.
Gotcha.
But when you, from what I understand, when you max a character out, you gain a power pass that you can, when you make a new character, you can use that on them, and then it kind of gives you the Cliff Notes version of the story, where you're not having to spend the 20 hours to run through the story again, where you can do it a little bit quicker, and it's basically the fast, or their way of going, well, we kind of want you to know what's going on. We don't want to put you in in-game content without knowing what your abilities do. So here's the fast way to get there, but we're still going to make you play it. And then apparently you get 2 of those.
Yeah, you get one, I think, once you hit level 50, and then your character is supposed to leave like the next area after the second one or something. Then you get your second power pass, and they only give you 2 for free.
Yeah, but I mean, three basically fairly, or 2 easily maxed characters after playing through the first one. That's not bad.
Yeah. Which I'm tempted to actually hold on to my second power pass and use it for one of the characters that will eventually come in the coming months, because we have, I can't remember what the mecha class is, but that one looks really cool.
Wait, mecha class? What?
There's a, I think, marksman type class that is a guy who has a mech. He has a like sentry that follows him on his, like floats behind him. He actually wears basically a Gundam suit, except it's like small.
So what, this is a gunslinger specialization, or is this a whole new base class?
I think it's a gunslinger specialization, either gunslinger or whatever the guy with the bow is.
Yeah, they're all like the ranger specialization.
Okay. I was about to say gunslinger does bow or guns.
Yeah, it should be in that one.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what my third character will be. I know my second character, I'm probably gonna play Paladin, just because I don't normally play like the supporty play style in MMOs or in any games really.
No.
So I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a shot, and because I know like people I typically play with. Zach's the guy who plays supports, in just about everything. So it'll maybe if he wants to do some damage, I'll just play the support.
Which that became a dumb thing, just because that was back when we actually played League, and it was literally a choice made based on the fact that we constantly kept playing when I was trying to eat. So I went, what can I play while I eat? And I went, fuck it, support. And for some reason, it stuck.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter the game. You tend to go to the supporty characters.
Well, after that, the League's what started.
But yeah, I mean, so far I'm enjoying the game. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I mean, overall, if you had to give it a rating between 10, I give it a 7, but I also only have 2 hours. Mine might change.
I'd say right now I'm enjoying. I'd say probably an 8 right now, just because one, I haven't reached end game content. That's in these type of games. That's usually the make or break of it. So when I get there, that may change. It may go up a point, or it may go down if I don't enjoy it. But
I'm currently of the opinion that it's either a strong 9 or a definite 10. But as he mentioned, whenever it hits end game, I like grindy stuff, but at the same time, there's so much else going on that I might kind of just fall off the earth when it comes to the game.
Yeah, February's a big month.
Yeah, I will say there are a lot of like little systems in this game that just kind of come out at you as you play through the story. Like there's a card-based like deck system for passive bonuses. There's an engraving system for passive bonuses. There's a stronghold system, like for your base, where you can do like some crafting and send out like expeditions and things like that. It just kind of sneaks up on you how much like side things there actually are that just coincide with the main game.
Yeah, and I sort of got that from the little bit of I've played it, just because I was looking through the menu bars and just seeing a ton of locked systems. I was like, oh, I'll meet you eventually. Yeah, I'll be curious to see Endgame as well, because it seems like a lot of equipment management to really, more or less, going to go back to item level crap of trying to max out your item level stuff just based on enhancements and things like that. Just a lot of micromanaging of gear.
Oh yeah.
Well, with the item level thing, I guess like the good and bad thing about that is it doesn't really focus on how high your item level is. Everything revolves around your engravings, and if you don't actually know everything about the engraving systems, it's basically, it will pull you in. You'll waste all your in-game money, and you'll be either grinding or spending to try to actually get the money back, because it's best to actually watch a video on the engraving system.
I watched a brief one on it, and there's a lot of engravings.
Okay.
Their recommendation in the video, which I'll kind of repeat for anybody that's might make the mistake, is hold on to anything you have. It's like there's an engraving mission where they kind of briefly talk to you about it. I'd say feel free to mess with it a little bit there, but other than that, just kind of hold on to it, because you'll start getting like chests with all kinds of books that you can get for all the engravings. Unless you know what you want, unless you know what you're going to want to use, I don't know how common those are. So I don't know how frequently you'll be getting them, or if they're drops at some point, or what. But and so unless you know specifically what you're wanting to go for, might be best to hold on to it for a little bit.
And the same thing with your potions, actually. There are certain potions that you don't want to use early game. Then they're like percent max health potions. So if you're like, you waste those
go every time I get them, they go in storage. I'm like,
so they're a rare commodity I gotta get?
Well, you can, once you get to the stronghold and you kind of unlock the life skills like foraging and things like that, you can start getting you can forage for the ingredients, and then you can craft them in your stronghold. But what you actually get in the story, I mean, the other potions work. I mean, they're great. They work just as good. I mean, I've aside from a few instances where I'm just like deciding not to dodge out of the way of like boss attacks, I'm not taking too much damage.
Yeah, I sort of saw that from the first just boss you interact with for the prologue as well.
Yeah, it's like, if you're being careful with it, or if you're playing smart, you don't take too much damage. And then when you do, it's like you gradually get better and better, just like potions in general. So, I mean, it's like you can pop those on and they work just as good.
Okay, well, any final thoughts on Lost Ark at this point in time?
For right now, I'm gonna be excited to get back and play it some more.
Yep. I'm kind of looking forward to just hopping back in and seeing how far I can get.
I'll play it until Dynasty Warriors comes out.
We got TFT too.
Oh, that's right. TFT does. You gonna join us on TFT, Keyonta?
Is it the neon lights set?
Well, this is the set 6.5, so this is the in between the neon lights.
Okay. Hey, shoot me an invite.
They changed it. They changed quite a bit. I've been reading up on it a little bit.
Yeah, because that 15th.
I think so. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. So 15th for TFT. So prepare for next week, everyone. We're gonna have Horizon and then John and me going off about TFT.
Yeah. Depending if I can be pulled away from Lost Ark, or if I get really into TFT for a few days, we might just ramble on about it for a bit.
But I think that's gonna wrap us up for the most part. I think, unless you got anything else.
No, I think we're pretty good to wrap up
You
here.
got anything, Keyonta?
Nothing from me.
Alrighty. Well, gonna mention again, we do have the website at sparky3.com. If you're actually watching this on the website, thank you. If you're a member, if you're not a member, why? It's free. So check that out on www.sparky3.com. There's also our merch store, sparky3shop.com. And of course, if you're watching us on YouTube or any other platform, like, comment, subscribe, rate. It does help. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button to help us out for the community on there. Then you can also hit the bell if you actually want to be notified whenever Game Static goes up, Animan Plus, A Terrible Football Show, and then talking about movies and stuff. We're going to have an episode of the guy, hopefully again here in like a month or two, depending on what's coming out and everything like that. And I think that hits everything me. What you got, John?
Just if you made it to the end of the video with us, thank you very much. Also, we do, I don't know if Zach had mentioned it before, we do have a Discord channel as well that might be linked in the description. If not,
It will.
yeah, it should be, unless I forget it. But yeah, again, thank you for being here, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
And you got any funny comments, Keyonta?
Like, thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Maybe get you on another one at some point when something else interesting. Maybe on that Monster Hunter Vampire DLC, because I honestly have no idea if it's going to be vampire, but I assume based on all the aesthetics, and I know none of us are going to play it. So. But thank you again, everyone. Until next week. Bye.
See you.